Day three of training camp for the Carolina Panthers is officially wrapped up, and today I'm going to go over the biggest takeaways and winners of day three. Before I get into that, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications because I'm going to have Panthers content for the rest of training camp heading into the regular season. And also, if you want to find me in other places on Spotify at Panther Plug and on Twitter at Panther Plugs. And every clip I use in this video is not for me. Got to give credit at For Panther Fan Only on Spotify and YouTube. So make sure you go give them love and go subscribe. And also, thank you guys for 200 subscribers. Um, it's a blessing. I would not be here without you guys. So I just want to, appreciate all y'all for, how far I've come, and I want to be here without you guys. So let's head right into it. First things first, I kind of want to go over the guys we signed yesterday. Kind of talk about that. Yes, yesterday morning, we had kind of edge rushers come in, and we signed Kimoko Toure. I feel like that's a pretty good, role piece. He has had a couple seasons where he's, there was one season, I think it was 2022, where he had 5.5 sacks starting 0 games. So he can bring a little bit in there. Also, we got tight end Felipe Franks, cornerback Keandre Thomas, wide receiver Devin Carter, and then we placed Cam Sims on the pup list kind of to add space so we can add another player, maybe another edge rusher. We'll kind of keep an eye on that, but we put him on pup list so we can have another opportunity to sign another player probably. So yeah, those are the moves. I'm not gonna touch too much on Kimoko Toure because if we do sign another edge rusher, I want to kind of do one sole video on that. So I'm not gonna touch too much on that. Day three of training camp. Now the point of the video. Okay, so day three of training camp. I feel like each one of these 3 days so far has new storylines coming out of it. I feel like day 1 and 2 were different than today. I feel like because I was not supposed to do a video today on training camp, but I feel like there was too much news that come out, like too much new stuff every single day in training camp, which is good, which means, and for the most part, they're all good stuff, right? Day 1, I feel like there were more bad stuff. Day 2, there were definitely some more good things, and then today there's definitely some really good things that I saw today in camp. So I feel like the biggest winner is Jonathan Mingo. The most consistent player on offense, or just the entire team today by far. I feel like, if you watched my breakout video, the players that need a breakout in order for us to exceed expectations in 2024, I mentioned Jonathan Mingo as one of those players because he's going to be a big factor. Of course, we have our top 3, and Xavier Leggett, of course, I'm going to touch over him here in a second, but if he breaks out, we have a pretty good receiver core now, right? Like Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen are proven, especially Adam Thielen's proven. So if you just add Jonathan Mingo to that mix to be able to do more stuff, then you're gonna have a pretty good core. But he made plays today all around the field. I'm gonna put clips on in the background where he made plays on the sideline, where he made just in the middle field catches where it was just short passes from Bryce. Bryce had a pretty good day today as well. Kind of started off slow because the defense did play really well to start the practice. But as the practice went on, Bryce got his feet on his legs under him. He just had a pretty solid end of practice today. With Jonathan Mingo was kind of his target, but I feel like that's the biggest winner today on offense. To continue talking, Deontay Johnson, it was him and JC pretty much all practice today. JC kind of had the better end of him. I'm not surprised. JC is proving why he's a top 2 player on this team when healthy. Deontay Johnson did have some catches today, kind of short catches, but for like the ones where he really had to, Deontay had to really move and stuff like that. JC kind of strapped him up a lot today, so but I'm not surprised by it. Deontay's going against a top 7 corner when healthy, in my opinion. So I'm not surprised by that. And Xavier Leggett, let's talk about XL real quick. There are some things I keep seeing on Twitter and stuff like that where people are talking about how, he needs to do this and he's not good and stuff like that. He still has a twitchiness to him. He still has the ability to, get off the line of scrimmage with burst. I think he's just hitting a rookie wall right now where he needs to just, get his legs under him and get used to it because he still has all the traits. He just needs to figure out how to get open, right? But he's still doing everything that he needs to get open. He just needs to, put that in action because last year, Jonathan Mingo, didn't show the traits. Like he didn't have burst off the line of scrimmage like we see XO has. He didn't have the speed, right? So he couldn't get open with those. But EXO has the traits already, so I'm not really worried about that. He's just hitting a rookie wall, and it's just crazy how some Panthers fans, expected him to come in and just be this great receiver, the best receiver on the team right away. Like give him time, right? Give him time. It's not going to happen right away. The traits are there, and he's going to be a good receiver, man. But it's going to take a couple practices for him to get under his belt. So. And also, Jalen Coker kind of touched on the receiver position. He did have a pretty good day today because he is fighting for roster spot. I could see an opportunity where he gets that seventh receiver position. And the receiver position has been fairly good this year, especially the back end. Like Amir's been making plays, Jonathan Mingo's been making plays, Jalen Coker's been making plays. It's kind of been better than I've seen more plays from the back end, like the bottom 3-4 receivers, more than the top 3 so far in camp, which can be a good sign and a bad sign. Again, the number one the number one receiver, Deontay Johnson. I'm not really worried about him on JC. I'm not really worried about him not performing well, but when it comes to the back end of the receiver position, it's doing pretty well so far in training camp. Next thing, I'm gonna touch on the tight end position. I said this from day 2. Every single tight end rep is crucial. And Tommy Tremble's been out with the hamstring so far in training camp. It's still been bothering him, so he was out today. But Jatavion made some plays day 1 and day 2. Today, Ian Thomas made some plays. My prediction was Tommy Tremble comes out of training camp as a tight end 1. This tight end position is so close. Every single rep matters, right? So, yeah, every single rep matters, and Jatavion and Ian have been out there more than Tommy has not been out there yet. So it's important, and of course, there's still time for Tommy to get back and prove himself. But right now, I don't know, right? Because of course, every rep matters, as I said. So just a weapon, keep an eye on that. Tommy Tremble did have a touchdown today in practice, so yeah. And of course, just touching on Bryce, really good day today. There was a stretch he went crazy. I think 7 for 7. So yeah, he had a really good day today. Kind of started off slow because the defense started off really well. That was kind of the winner. So in the beginning of practice, but then the offense kind of took over, and that's when Jonathan Mingo started going crazy. But Bryce had a really good day today. And then offensive line purposes, nothing crazy that I saw from the D line. Because the D line really did well day 1 and day 2, but nothing today that I really noticed. And then defensively, the secondary is the biggest question mark on defense, as you know, for me personally. Every single offseason video I talk about how the secondary needs work, and that's the biggest question mark. I think it's the worst position on the team. JC, not really questioning what he can do. The second corner position and the nickel, Troy Hill, Charles Smith-Wade, Dane Jackson, Deshaun Jameson, all those players I was really looking out for in training camp. And today, Dane Jackson had a pick on Bryce today earlier in practice. Dane is very consistent all practice for that second corner position. Deshaun Jameson did kind of lock up XL today a little bit. Now, one of the plays was a PI, like a clear PI, and there was 2 that were potential PIs that you could call. But yes, it's very good that we're seeing these positions in the secondary, besides other than JC, make plays, because at the end of the day, right now I'm not confident. Right, heading into training camp, I was not confident at all in this secondary at all. Besides JC and Xavier Woods and Troy Hill a little bit, and of course I was confident in Dane Jackson being a number 3, but not number 2 necessarily. So I was really looking for that, and yes, Dane has made plays. Dane has made plays pretty much all training camp, first 3 days. Deshaun Jameson made some plays today, but again, I'm not going to use that as like, oh my gosh, we have a great secondary, because we can't overreact to one day. But Dane Jackson, if he can continue this, I'm going to be a little more confident. Hopefully we can sign Stephon Gilmore, of course, but there's nothing really from the defense so far today. And of course the linebackers, Shaq and Josie, we can't really, without tackling, we can't really, give an analysis on them, because they're just there, and you know what I'm saying? So we can't really say anything about them, but I'm really excited about that duo. One of my favorite duos heading into the season for sure, even whenever they haven't done anything so far in training camp. But yeah, it was a pretty good day today. I think, of course, the biggest winner, Jonathan Mingo, Jalen Coker, Bryce Young, Dane Jackson, just those players, in my opinion, are the biggest winners today of day three. Um, and lastly, let me just touch on the kicker situation real quick. So, of course, Mevis, him and Pinheiro are kind of going back and forth every other day. So today, he kicked again, and he went, I think, 3 for 5 today, missed from 40 and missed from 55. So right now, so far after the first 3 days, I think you can say Pinheiro kind of has the edge right now on the kicker position, but we'll kind of keep an eye on that as well. But um, yeah, just had to touch on that real quick. 'Cause I don't think I touched on that the first 2 days because it was, of course, it was pretty close. But after today, after he missed 2 kicks, especially one from 40, and Pinheiro's been pretty consistent so far in his first day after day two. Um, yeah, but we'll keep an eye on that, of course. But I just want to touch on the kicker situation real quick. So yeah, it was a really good day today. I just want to just give y'all as much as I can. Just as much analysis I can for training camp. Again, I want to I want this to be my last training camp video because I don't want to do training camp because that's gonna get boring, especially if I repeat the same stuff. But a lot of new stuff comes out. So, but yes, I will do sometime next week a complete week 1 breakdown. So hopefully this is my last one, and I'm gonna drop a random video, kind of talking about the players we signed. If we use that other roster spot from Camp Sims to sign another player, I'll talk about signing Kimoko Toure and maybe another edge rusher, corner, whatever we fill that position with. Kind of make that one video sometime next week before that. And then yes, there are gonna be some filler videos talking about the roster position groups, so just stay tuned for that. I won't just fill y'all up with training camp, especially with the same stuff. So yeah, it was a pretty good day today. I think the best day so far today. Of course, there was a lot of energy. It was in the stadium, but hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. It was another great one. We're gonna keep being consistent. We're not gonna stop. Just make sure you subscribe, and I appreciate y'all for 200 subscribers, man. I would not be here without you guys. I keep showing up because y'all keep showing up for me. So I'm gonna keep posting for you guys if you guys, because you guys keep showing up for me. So, yeah, and also again, every clip of this video at For Panther Fan Only, make sure you go show them love on YouTube and Spotify. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed day 3 training camp.